Hey everyone, this is Carlos here, Data Grant CEO. So today I'm extremely excited to share with you a bit of a change that we are having here at Data Grant. After a lot of months working hard closely with our clients, we realized that one of the most or the biggest need data scientists and data analysts and developers have within organizations is to be able to easily share their work internally with the different business units, right? So, for example, let's say a developer has a database and they need to share analytics with the marketing team. They need an easy way to be able to do that, but not only that, embrace technologies like natural language. So what we've been working on is on what we call a connectivity hub. And what that means is we make it extremely easy for developers, data analysts, or data scientists to share their work internally for what we call internal data tools. What does that mean in practice and in reality? It means that, for example, again, if I have several databases or different files, the marketing team can install this in a channel in a Slack bot, or you can even create a custom bot, for example, so that they can query the data with natural language and they can receive multiple responses. The nice thing about this connectivity hub that we're building is that it's not only about Slack bot or custom bots or team bots. It's also about, for example, Notion. It's also about sharing the data in Tableau or whatever the different business units needed. So in a nutshell, again, what we're trying to do is build this connectivity hub for your data so that developers, data scientists, and data analysts can shine by easily sharing that data with the business units and them being able to embrace natural language in a much easier, efficient, flexible, and fun way in their day-to-day work. So today I'm going to be sharing how that Slack bot works. I'm going to be showing really quick how the custom bot works, because that means that you're going to be able to create any bot for either internal clients or even external clients. So hope you enjoy it and let us know if you have any feedback. All right, so we are here in DataGrant at the workspace level. As you can see, my workspace name is personal data. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down here to bots and I'm gonna add a new bot. As I mentioned, you can create a custom bot or a Slack bot. We're gonna jump directly into the Slack bot. So the first thing we need to do is add to Slack. So I'm just gonna click on that. I'm just gonna select Rove and I'm gonna allow the bot to connect to Rove. Once that is done, then the next step is to go to Slack and create a command. So I'm just gonna close this window and I'm gonna go here to the documentation, and I'm gonna go to the Slack setup. So you can see I just did all of this. I clicked on Slack, and now what I just need to do is I need to do DataGrant Jedi Connect. Now, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my Slack Rove, Slack workspace, and in this workspace, sorry, I didn't tap on that. I don't know why this is not changing. Oh, probably you can't see my screen. So 1 second. Okay, I was able to change that. Why am I not able to change my Slack to Rove? Command 5. Okay. For some reason I was able to change my workspace. But now we're at the Rove workspace. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a new channel. This channel is going to be called Karate, and I'm going to hit next. It's going to be public. So for now, we only accept public channels. So take that into account, and I'm just going to hit create. Okay. And I'm just going to hit done here. Oh, I added a bunch of people that I didn't need. That seems like a new feature of Slack. I don't need that, so I'm just gonna delete that. All right. Now, what I want to do is hit next here on the instructions, and as I mentioned, according to the conversation, I need to do Datagram Jedi connect. So I'm gonna go back here, I'm gonna write that command, and I'm gonna hit enter. Okay, perfect. So it says it's already connected because in the past I've done it for this workspace, so I'm just not gonna do any more there. If you're doing it for the first time, you're gonna see a link, and that link is gonna take you to establish the connection. Okay. So now, since this step was completed, I'm just gonna click here, and as you can see, I already have Rove app connected to Slack. Now, with that in mind, I'm just gonna go into this app, and you're gonna see this dashboard, right? And you're gonna see that it's approved, responses, connection rules. So I'm gonna create here a new connection rule so that I can connect to that channel specifically. And in this case, I'm just gonna name it Karate. And for this assistant, I'm gonna connect Shotokan Karate registration, which is my integration. Okay, and I don't need to do any more here. I'm just gonna need to do save. With that in mind, I just need to go back here to Datagram Jedi. And what I'm gonna do now, according to my documentation, is to just do Datagram Jedi. Oh, sorry. Are you there? Okay, it's gonna tell me that I need to add Jedi to this workspace, so I'm just gonna invite it. And with that in mind, I'm gonna start getting responses from Jedi. So let's see what happens. It's fetching data, it's waiting, and hopefully very soon we're gonna get the first response. In the meantime, I'm gonna start asking questions about my data. So basically what I did, I have some information about my karate training in a database, which is basically a Google Sheets. So what I want to do is, hey, give me the first 5 rows in my table. Enter. So let's wait to see what happens here with this information. It's basically now fetching my data, and it should give it to me very soon. One of the nice things about this is that you can change your channel, you can go to another workspace, and it's just like a conversation with anybody where you have to wait for that person to respond. This is the same case here. We're assigning an assistant, so we have to wait for that. The other thing that you can do with Jedi is that you can do follow-up questions in the same thread, and it's going to have the context of the conversation in that thread. Some queries can take a really long time. Some queries are extremely fast. So it really depends on the complexity of the code it's writing, among many other factors. I can also ask several questions at the same time. So for example, give me the most recent karate lesson taken by Carlos. Okay, Carlos Mendez. So I'm just gonna send that, and that way we can have several, conversations in parallel, and the bot is gonna be able to handle that as well. Okay, so it answered here, as you can see, in this first question. So let's see. It's giving us a thread. Of course, there's things that we're going to have to improve here. For example, to separate all of these messages, because we have a mechanism where we retrain the bot. So it's giving us all of the different retries in this last message. But anyways, the information was successful. So I just need to download the data, for example. And with that, I can just go here and check the CSV file. And as you can see, we have the first 5 rows. So that worked really well. Now we're just waiting for the second question to come back, and we'll go from there. But if things are consistent, it means that it seems like the last class taken by Carlos was on 2023. Although maybe this is not sorted, so we'll see what answer comes back from Jedi. We have an answer. Let's see how it did. So we have here a response. Most recent karate lesson by Carlos Mendez. We have the Python code. If you want to see it, you can just hit on query, and you'll see that. We get all the code that he wrote. And then we have the CSV file, which again, if I just download it here, we can just open it, and there it is. So in December 3rd of 2023 was the last karate lesson, and this is amazing. Now, one of the cool things about this bot, right, is that you can also not only assign specific integrations. So for example, in here, I assigned an integration, but you can also assign specific operators for the bot. So I would recommend you to go and understand a little bit how Datagram works, but basically you can build a data workflow where you can do some pre-processing and you can do models, and you can attach that specific model to the Slack bot without having to connect it to the raw data, right? If that data is not cleaned up, etc. And if, for example, a data analyst or a data scientist needs to do some operations on that data. Okay. The other amazing thing about this bot is that you can upload trainings. What that means is that you can upload any of these documents, for example, and the system, that the bot is going to be able to recognize them, and it's going to give you answers based on this. Actually, the next example that I want to show you is a human resources bot, right? That has a specific file that I uploaded. Actually, I uploaded several files, but I'm going to show you one specific file and how I was able to handle that question. So hopefully you are as impressed as me with how this bot works. But before we do that, let's go to bots again, and just wanted to show you just how different is the custom bot in this case. So for example, to create a custom bot, you just put a name for the bot, and once you create the bot, you're gonna see basically exactly the same to what you see for the Slack bot. The only difference is that in connection rules, you're gonna see a column that is gonna say documentation. Once you click on that documentation, you're gonna get your URL and your API key, so that you're gonna be able to interact with that bot via code. So that's basically the main difference between the custom bot and the Slack bot. Now let's jump into the human resources example so that you can get a sense of things that you can do, because in this case, for example, it was a bot that it was kind of like a personal bot, but you can do things for marketing departments where they can fetch their data. But on the other hand, human resources can actually use this bot so that you can provide it to all of the employees of the company and they can ask several questions. So let's do that. Okay, so of course I'm not going to show you the whole setup for this new assistant because you already saw that. But this is that document that I want to show you the answer for. I uploaded for this assistant more than 10 different files. So Word documents, PDFs, etc. So we're just going to start testing it here to see if it fetches correctly the data. So for example, what is the maximum discount we can give? It fetches all of those documents and it retrieves the information based on the retrieval of the bot. So let's wait a second, and basically, as you can see now, it answers the maximum discount we can give is 11%, and if I go back to the file, it's exactly the same.